Welcome to RVing in New England, the nation's only forum that puts you on stage with some of the biggest names in the RV industry. And now your hosts, John DePietro and Bob Zagami.
And there we are, and welcome
live
to New England live.
The beauty of broadcasting live is the mystery of whether you're going to get on the air or not.
Right,
and
they have no idea.
I'm going to move this camera around for just a second and show you that we are looking out at the beautiful non-raging Atlantic Ocean right behind me.
And they have no idea. Right, they have no idea the technical challenges of the last 15 minutes, but we persevered, and we are both coming to you live. I am not in the campground. That's a virtual background, but I am not in the campground yet, but I will be soon. Why don't you tell them where you are, John?
Well, the interesting thing, Bob, is the name of the show is RVing in New England.
Right.
And you're in Florida, and I'm in South Carolina. I am looking out at what, 1,174 campsites with tons of plates from New England. And we are at the world famous, the RVing Park of the Year, the Myrtle Beach Travel Park. And not only did I just come here by myself and take some pictures. Look at this, Travis. Look at all the license plates. See, we verified that we hid their identity in case they're wanted by the law.
Yeah, in case the spouse doesn't know where they are this week.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. But we want to welcome in the general manager for the RVing Park of the Year in 2020, Travis Thompson. And Travis, welcome to your park.
Well, I appreciate you having me on here. Fantastic weather for us.
Yeah. Well, but Bob, look, I got the right shirt on.
Okay. You put one over the other. He had to tell him what the temperature is.
Well, what is it?
We're probably a balmy 63, something like that right now.
63, 64. But it was what, 70 today?
Close, yeah.
It was beautiful. I mean, everybody's at the pool and everything like that. But one thing about Myrtle Beach that I found out is it can be in the 30s at 6 a.m., in the 40s at 7 a.m., the 50s at 8 a.m., and be 75 degrees by noontime.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm not a meteorologist, but I am playing one on TV right now.
Well, we only got up to 91 today, so maybe it'll get a little bit better tomorrow.
So Travis, we're going to tell everybody about.
Yeah, let Travis.
Well, before we do that, Bob, we should tell everybody that our sponsor for this show is Seacoast RVs, straight up the road. In fact, Route 1, US 1 is right nearby here. Go up about 900 miles, and on the right you'll see Seacoast RVs.
That's right. Hop on the road. Stay right on Route 1 the whole way. Yeah.
They run Route 1. You know what? They're the number one craft model dealer in the United States. They've got Winnebago products. They've got Elevation products that should be in any day now.
Yes.
And they're on Route 1.
Guess what, John?
They're there?
It arrived 3 days ago. Don't know if it's still on the lot. Their first Elevation RV is on the lot at Seacoast RVs. Yep.
Yeah. Well, they got a ton of. How many park models you got here?
There's about 444, roughly.
Roughly 444.
Roughly 400, 444.
Be more precise, Travis.
Yeah, I know. We're close. We're getting close on the number. Yeah. But, Bob, we talk about New England RV parks, and, certainly I think the largest is Normandy Farms. But the vast majority of the parks are between 80 and 150 spots, wouldn't you say? Sites?
Yep.
Wouldn't you say that number? And a good sized park is considered like right around 100 in New England. And 100 here is what, 2 rows worth of
pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, what's Normandy Farms is probably one of the largest. I think they're up to about 450 sites, I think.
Right.
On that.
Right. Yeah. But the interesting thing with the campgrounds, and Travis wears another hat. He's also president of the Myrtle Beach Campground Owners Association. And Travis, tell us, I mean, they're really mega parks.
They are. They're a lot of mega parks, and we range anywhere from about 1,000 campsites to about 2,300 park sites in some of the parks. So we're all big properties here.
And and one of the reasons, or I should say, one of the traits that come with a property that size is the amenities that are included with it. Bob, you and I were here a few years ago. We were down at Ocean Lakes. We were at Pirate Land. We were at Lakewood and that type of thing. But you really don't have to leave the place. And I know that when we talked with another manager, one of the parks down here on a Saturday in the summertime has 30,000 people on it. I think they have their own trash company, and
they do. There's about 30,000 people.
30,000 people.
Properties here. Yeah.
Here's an overview, and you had already mentioned that they were the mega park. That's pretty significant. So, what do you think contributed to your success on that one? But that's a great overview between the ocean, and are you on the deck of that building, kind of in the bottom in the middle?
We are right near where the lazy river. You can kind of see that in the lower bottom right corner.
Zoom in on us, Bob. We're waving.
I can't.
We're waving.
I can't.
I know that.
You can wave there, yeah.
But you've got some of those pictures there. But you got the outdoor pool, and the thing that I noticed with the pool is it's immaculate. And a lot of times you get into a facility where they kind of that's not the pool, that's the lake that's right behind us.
You didn't send one of the pool. The only one we don't have the lazy river or the pool. So you'd sent some of the other ones.
Well, you know what? Let's let Travis tell us what some of the stuff is, and as he talks, you can.
Yeah, I mean, I think.
Before you jump onto that, let me just make sure we're live and in action. So we've got Jerry Plant on from Cape Cod, Walter Swenson. Speaking about Walter Swenson, if I can. Boom, 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 boom.
Oh, this is yours. Okay.
There's Walter's fifth wheel. Walter's fifth wheel is down at New England RV Roof and having some plastic surgery done on it and a brand new roof, lifetime warranty from Flex Armor and the guys at New England RV Roof. So glad to have you, Walter. And I know you're.
And Walter's getting ready for his. Walter, tell us. Type in down below. How long is your trip? I think it's like a month and a half, but the mileage is amazing. He's going from Massachusetts to. Is he going to California? But it's all in like 5
Grand Canyon.
Yeah,
Canyon.
I mean, he put some of the stats down, and it's absolutely amazing.
All right, so keep reading that though. We got Ryan Hadley on. I want to give a shout out to Ryan and New England RV Roof again. Jim's got a double header tonight. They just hooked up together, and they got a program going that let me get rid of Ryan there. If a person has a Seal Tech test, water leak test done by TRAC and Ryan Hadley. If it's determined that they need a new roof, then Jim Convoy will deduct that amount of money that they paid to Ryan off the bill on that. So they just announced that the other day, so we're hoping that they will have a great success with that. So if you have a leaky roof, then get a hold of them and have Ryan do that seal test. Stell's on.
Seen every type.
Very Plant. John hit the noisy oyster for a seafood boil. Did you?
Is that right nearby?
Yeah, it's not far.
John doesn't do
Jerry,
seafood. He may go to the Cape, Jerry, but he didn't go to the seafood. Gabriel Winston.
Do I need to hit the noisy oyster to get any more noisy?
Yeah.
So it looks like several of our friends here have already been to Myrtle Beach at one time or another. Tell us where you've stayed, folks. And Walter's a month and a half. Massachusetts to St. George, Utah.
Oh, wow.
Yep. All right, Michelle's on from Prescott,
And Walter,
Arizona. Monica's on. Okay. Ocean Lakes is
Sherry
1100.
Fuller's here.
Ryan, what does Ryan say? We used to camp at Apache Pier campgrounds as kids. Is that down in Myrtle Beach somewhere?
Yeah,
they're right up the street.
right down the street.
Right?
Yeah.
Tom Zabrowski's on.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Somebody said, Audrey Foley-Egan, you should be hosting them from Myrtle Beach. Audrey Foley-Egan is one of our weekly listeners.
Okay.
And a great contributor and always has something to say. And every year she comes down and stays at Pirate Land. Okay. So she's at Pirate Land right now. And I emailed her yesterday when I found out we're both in Murrells Inlet last night. We're in restaurants, one restaurant apart from each other. We were in something Creek Rats.
Yep.
And she was in Dead Dog. Ladies and gentlemen.
Wait a minute.
These are high-end restaurants.
Wait a minute. Creek Rats?
Creek Rats.
That's the name of the restaurant.
That's where we stayed. No, they didn't. It wasn't on the menu.
I was going to say, but if it was on the menu.
But they said Creek Rats was a complimentary term for kids who lived in the neighborhood.
Oh, okay.
I don't know where that came from.
I'll buy that.
And she's at Dead Dog Bar or
Dead Dog Saloon.
Dead Dog Saloon, right next door.
Yep.
At the same time.
I hope they don't pay people to name their restaurants.
I know.
So Walter's going out a month and a half to Utah, Great Circle Tour, Arizona, back to Massachusetts. And our good friend Sherry Fuller is on tonight. Hello, Sherry. And Sherry was telling me the other day, I talked to her the other day, she's practically sold out for the entire year for RV rental. So if you're thinking about having an RV rental and you want to shop local, shop at a good family business, go over there and see Sherry and Bobby.
Okay.
Here's our first apology of the night.
Yeah. We always, when our guests come in late, they apologize.
Well, good. And
he's up in Maine, so he's a few minutes off.
A little different time zone.
One of the things that you need to understand about this place, and I'll have Travis tell you, if you want to enjoy life on the ocean, but say you live in New York City and you can't own an RV, or you don't own an RV yet, or you want to buy one but you can't get it yet, Travis, what's the solution to that?
We have RV rentals that are set up for guests to come camp in. And, camping has exploded in the last few years. And so we've seen people at trade shows are thinking about camping, have never done it. We've got campers come stay in one, kind of catch the bug. And it gives people that idea and kind of the camper life, a taste of it. And as we all know, once you do it once, you're hooked.
Just like
Travis, I saw that you mentioned you got a lot of park models. Are those strictly for rental, or do you have seasonals who rent a lot, and can they bring their own park model in?
No, well, we've got about 750 transit sites and villa rentals that we have, and then we've got about 440 park model annuals that have park models with Carolina rooms, that sort of thing.
Okay.
So Carolina room down here, must be a screened-in room?
That's a sun Florida room.
That's a sunroom for us. Yeah,
sunroom.
Like what you have.
Yeah.
So, Bob, the other interesting thing here, and I have to say it, and Travis didn't tell me to say it, but these bathrooms are immaculate. You almost feel guilty going into the bathroom to do what you do in a bathroom because they're so clean. And it turned out the other night when we got here late, I didn't have the time to put water in my own unit, so I used the bathhouse. How many? What do you got? 4 or 5 of them here?
About 8 of them. Eight, yeah.
Okay, and they're all ultra modern and immaculate. And I always used to, I still do, and I think all of our viewers, they judge the value of an RV park by the cleanliness of the restroom facilities. Tell us, audience, is that you put a lot of value in a clean bathrooms, even though you may not even need to have to use them?
Correct.
But somebody has stayed a couple times at Myrtle Beach State Park. That's down below, right?
That's down on the south end. Yeah.
Yep. Ryan Hadley. Hi, buddy. Nice seeing you today. Ryan and Tim, no side conversations.
We're gonna start renting them.
Charging them.
We're gonna start renting them time on the program.
Yeah. Monica's been to Ocean Lakes, month and a half. Good evening, Audrey Foley. We'll see if Audrey tunes in tonight. Normandy, 300 sites. Okay. We use the camp at Apache Pier. Monica, hello everybody. Prescott Valley. Michelle from RVing today.
Well, let me show some of the pictures. Let me show some of the pictures that you sent, and Travis can give us kind of a running commentary on them.
Yep.
So that is our arcade. In the winter, when we have the snowbird season, it actually acts as our winter hall. Seats about 250, 260 people. So we'll do a lot of functions in there. During the summer, it acts as our arcade, and we have a grill that has hamburgers and chicken sandwiches, pizza, things of that nature.
Oh, and I think we got a picture of that cheeseburger.
Well, I think I do, but this was my favorite picture that you sent out.
I know, that was John's first picture when he went in the store was of the candy aisle.
Candy aisle.
So we've newly renovated store as well that has all your camping supplies, food items, obviously apparel and logo items, things of that nature.
Okay, some didn't line up, but little playground.
Yep, that's where my grandkids are right now. I'm surprised they haven't called yet. They only call when I'm on the air. There they are right now. And tell us about that.
And we do have guest services where we will do kind of Showtime's theaters, Alabama Theater, Carolina Opry, things of that nature, dinner shows, getting ready to start doing a lot of golf this fall. We can kind of help guests plan their stay while they're here.
So concierge
outside of the park.
The concierge service or whatever they want to do outside.
Yeah, pretty much.
Usually those are also discounted tickets.
Yeah, there are discounted tickets.
Yeah. So the thing is this, folks, if the first time you come to Myrtle, you got to admit it is overwhelming.
It can be.
Because from North Myrtle to Murrells Inlet is 25 miles?
Roughly, yeah.
Right? 25 miles of neon. And there are a couple of bypasses, which I thank goodness I found today. But this area is growing. And, I mean, the RV mega parks are here, but the housing is, you gave me a figure the other day.
Yeah, in the Myrtle Beach area, in the next 10 years, they're expecting an additional 50,000 homes along this area, which it would encompass kind of Carolina shores, southern North Carolina coast, down to Georgetown County, about 50,000 homes.
Yeah.
So that 25-mile stretch, is that all retail and hotels and restaurants? The whole
it is. I mean, there are golf courses, attractions, shopping, go-karts, you name it. Mini golf, obviously, mini golf capital of the world. Just about anything and everything you could imagine.
Now, you won't run out of RV supplies, so besides getting them theater tickets, if they run into a little technical difficulty, you get all the supplies.
We do. I mean,
that's only a small portion.
Yeah, it's a common place, obviously, as people travel to get here and have forgotten a valve or a water hose or what have you, and we certainly have that available.
Now, good question.
We'll see the kids going by on the bikes.
Yeah, good question for you. Do you provide any kind of technical service? I know a lot of campgrounds are starting to have their own technical service department. Do you have that, or do you just have independent reps that you call when somebody?
We typically will have independent reps. I mean, we will, like we said before, camping's exploded, as we all know, in the last few years, and so we have a lot of first timers come in. We will help them with general things, but we do have a number of vendors and contractors that we obviously will have them contact for.
I mean, there's several
warranty type of things. Yeah,
there's several of them in their map and guidebook. For camper repair.
Bring me back a copy of that guidebook, John.
Okay, good. Yeah,
but
Crazy Turtle.
It is interesting because we work very closely with the campgrounds up here in the New England area. We want them to have good relationships with our dealers. And I was speaking to one this week that they're thinking that they have to start classes for the new campers because, we've sold 1 million motorhomes in 2 years, the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Half of those went to first-time buyers. So there's 500,000 people out there, and they think that you just go to the campground and hopefully plug it in and everything works. But there is an issue about campers coming into campgrounds without having had the proper PDI, the classification, the orientation to them. How do you handle when the numbers of people that you're running through there? How do you?
You must have some stories.
We do. It's funny because you get some people here and you kind of wonder how they got from A to B, pulling these things, and they'll pull up and be like, "This is for our first time camping," and they got a 40-foot fifth wheel, But as we all know too, the camping just historically, guests will come in, they're having issues. Their neighbors love to come help.
Yep.
Right.
They do, and they'll see them kind of struggling a little bit. So your neighbors typically will come to help. I like to dote on our staff. They're fantastic. And they can kind of see somebody have an issue and they'll go help back them in or kind of help them hook up, so to speak, as much as we can without trying to getting ourselves in any kind of liability issues. I mean, that certainly becomes an issue. Especially if you're messing with electric, things of that nature, inverters. And, but the basics will help. But thankfully, this industry is, like I said, people will come out of the woodwork to help people.
Any story that immediately comes to mind in the last couple seasons? With
I think the biggest thing is people trying to just getting to their campsites and trying to turn things around. And we have tons of cable issues with people trying to just get their cable hooked up. Yep. I mean, it's interesting. Nothing major stands out, but it's
now. Just to show you, Bob, go back to that. Okay. That was a gentleman from Nova Scotia who was on the roof. And I jokingly said to him, don't jump. It's not that bad. He goes, what? And the wife said, he's only joking. I said, what are y'all doing up there? And he said, I'm taking a picture of the campground from his roof. Yeah. And I said, well, here's my phone. Get me a couple. I've got a show to do tonight. So he said,
Travis, you mentioned, they're checking in. With such a large park and so many sites, do you escort every guest to their site or do you give them a map and hope that they find where they're going?
Typically on any given Saturday, we're looking at about 350 check-ins. A lot of times, 85% historically have been return guests, so they kind of know where they're going.
Wait. You're 52 years. You said 85% of the business is return.
Typically, but I mean, you figure the last few years with the explosion. I mean, I can tell you just this past weekend, the number of first timers here at this park was huge, and I've never seen it like that. But I think typically we'll give them a map to their site. But our maintenance guys and our staff are all through the property, and we can kind of tell when someone's a little lost, and we'll escort them. You can kind of see them kind of stopping and looking at their map.
Fourth time
I'll grab them and be like, let's go.
The fourth time by the pool, you generally say.
Yeah. When I've seen a 40-footer kind of come by the pool over and over again, I usually will grab them.
Yeah.
But Bob, I can tell you, you asked about a story. When I was in the mountains, I had a guest whose awning kind of got torn up, one of the arms, a woman, and had 3 kids with her. I'm sitting at the exit of the park, right? She's driving out with half of the awning still sticking out like 4 feet. And she's like, I'm only going 30 miles down the road. And I'm like, but you're going to be on I-40 in North Carolina going down the mountain with your awning. I'm like, you're going to kill yourself or somebody else. But that kind of, we made her stop and we're like, we're taking this awning off. Somehow we'll keep it at the park. But she was ready to drive down an interstate with her awning sticking out about 4 feet. So that was probably one of the funnier ones.
Let me go back to the education question again, because you are the president of the Myrtle Beach Campground Association. When you have meetings, is anybody doing anything creative around education? So I was talking to the campground this week. They're going to hire one of our local independent reps, mobile reps, and not Ryan. Actually, and he's not actually. They're going to hire Chris Doherty. Chris is going to work with one of our campgrounds, and he's going to go down in the middle of the week, probably on a Wednesday for 4 straight weeks, and he's going to teach an introductory maintenance course.
Yeah.
And the campground will pay him. It'll be free for the guests, so they can go up in the morning, have a cup of coffee, some donuts, and he's going to go through a series of items, the same type of things that he would do when he does the seminar at our Boston RV show. Have you, as a collective group, or anybody in that group, done anything unique around this problem? It's a problem. It's a problem the last 2 years. It's going to continue to be a problem because we're going to continue to sell a lot of new buyers.
Right. We haven't to date. And I think, obviously, with COVID the last couple of years, I've been the president the last 2 years. The last 2 years, it's been hard to have meetings, things of that nature. But I think you're right. I think you're onto something. I mean, you have so many new campers that do lack the educational, the RV education, so to speak, on how to do
education
things.
101.
And I think that's a great idea, and it's probably something I'll take back to the other properties.
Good.
Not a bad idea at all.
Yeah, because before we get into this situation where we have all these first-time buyers, take those 2 years out of the discussion. Before that, we still had a problem with people going to a campground and not understanding their RV and think not at the magnitude that we have now.
Right.
And that's why we try to have a good integration between our dealers and our campground. Because the fact of the matter is, and we're preaching to the choir when we talk to you, but if somebody is going to like the RV lifestyle, it's going to depend on their campground experience or their boondogger experience.
I agree.
It's going to be
More so than the dealer.
After they drive off the dealer's lot, that's when they determine whether or not they like RVing and camping. So we do all the marketing, we get them in, we sell them something, and we send them out on the street, and they wind up in your campgrounds, and they don't know what they're doing. So we have.
And I think, Bob, there is a disconnect. I think there's a disconnect between the RV dealers and the RV parks, because I think you have these units coming in with 3 air conditions, everything's electric, and these folks are like, we can run everything off of 50 amp. Excuse me, you really can't without the possibility of burning something up. Electric hot water heater, refrigerator heater, like you name it. There is, we find that occasionally. There's a disconnect, and I think that's something we have to work on.
A disconnect or never been connected.
Probably a combination of the two.
Because Bob and I spoke at a campground association annual convention 3 or 4 years ago.
Campground owners convention,
and we brought in Sherm Goldenberg, the editor of RV Business, and those campground owners were very upset with the manufacturers and the dealers because of false expectations, I guess is the right word. Wouldn't you say, Bob?
Yeah, we did a panel. We did a panel, and it had a campground owner. It had a trade publication magazine. It had an RV dealer. I put John on it, and I moderated it. And it was intended to be just a nice, friendly discussion with them. And then they got into it, and I let it go. I let it go, and it wound up being a bitch session for I think it was an hour, probably about an hour and a half. And they were mostly polite about it, but they were saying, "Hey, you're giving us these people, and they haven't been trained, or worse, they come in with a brand new RV, and then something happens, and they call the dealer, and they don't do mobile repair, so now they got to scurry around. It's a brand new RV; It's only 2 weeks old. Then they have an issue. Then how do they work with that? So the industries have to work much better together, and it better happen fast, because we love to pat ourselves on the back about selling 500,000 RVs and all these new things and all the Go RVing campaigns and what have you, and all the positive publicity. We're on NBC, we're on every television program, every radio program, videos. But if they dislike RVing, if they turn against RVing, criticism is going to be 10 times what the positive reaction is, because that's what people do. They complain.
Yeah. Right. And we should also tell people that should also tell people that every once in a while we stall out. But one of the things with Myrtle Beach, you can still hear me, Bob?
Yeah, we're fine. Yep.
Yeah. One of the things with Myrtle Beach is, I know you have it, that if you want to come down here for seasonally, but there's weeks that you can't, you don't want to pay for a campsite, that you guys have storage.
We do.
And they'll move it. Very similar to what Sherry Fuller does. They have a lot. It's only what, $75 a month?
Yep.
And it doesn't make sense to drive 800 miles towing a unit if you're going to come down here and stay for 3 weeks and then go home and work and come back. So they'll haul it right out of here, and then you call them up and tell them, okay, we're going to be there June 1st through 15th, and they'll tell them what spot they're on, and you show up June 1st, and your unit is there.
Yeah.
It's right on site.
You get it all set up? Do you plug it in, check the water, turn the water on, so all they have to do is do it? No?
We don't. When we're moving, the number of campers we're moving in and out of storage.
But then,
I think
what?
Staffing-wise, it's
You get into all that liability.
There's also liability. Yeah, there's also
liabilities there.
Yeah.
And travel trailers, you can do it. Motorhomes, it's a little bit different. You won't drive a motorhome, right?
No, definitely not. No,
because then say, oh, that scratch wasn't on it when it was there, but they're saying, you did the scratch. Now I see Kim Foley McKinnon here, our friend from.
Let's hold that thought, and let's.
We got to do a break.
I'm sure you brought your best radio voice with you, so we
got to do our break.
Let's
let Travis go. Let's let Travis go ahead. You can do the commercial.
Oh, not me.
Go ahead.
Not me.
Okay. So, in lieu of Travis, I'll put on my fake radio voice and say, this show is brought to you by Seacoast RVs on Route 1 in Saco, Maine, for drivable Winnebagos, Class B and Class. So you have Class A's there?
No, B's and C's, small C's.
Okay,
yeah.
B's and C's. Okay,
Class
or
two
year. Great brands with park models. Stop into Seacoast RVs, Route 1, Saco, Maine. Also, I'll tell you this: great propane service. So even if you're not going to be camping in Old Orchard Beach, and you need propane, and you want to go somewhere where the person who's going to install your propane has done it before, it's always nice to go to an RV dealer instead of a gas station or a hardware store to have propane put in. And, from that perspective, our friends at Seacoast are great to deal with.
And if you need
real service, I talk about Kim Foley.
Real service, you're going to see Kendra Smith, the service manager, and she'll get you all set up. Let's go back to the comments and see. You want 7? Okay, Kim came on at 7:27. Kim, you came on at 7:27 and you didn't apologize for being late. So let me slide down. What time? You talking about the education comment, John? John, where'd he go? Okay.
He's going to get his grandkids right quick.
Education. Hello. Okay. Cindy says we'd pay for a refresh. Oh, now that's interesting, Travis. Cindy says that they would actually.
That is very interesting.
A refresher class. Now, in the case of the campground that I'm talking to with our independent rep, the campground is going to pay the rep and it's going to be free. So it's but that's an interesting comment. How many people do you think would actually pay?
Yeah, and I think I think it's a great idea. Certainly.
Yeah. Very, very planned. I am constantly amazed at how little the RV owners know about their rigs. A common complaint. Don Hawes, shouldn't the dealers have some responsibility to help educate the buyers, not just the buyers and the parks? Yes, absolutely. And they should, and many do, and they do it very well. But some dealers, when in this COVID environment, when you go from selling 10 units a month to 20, or from 100 units a month to 200, and we all know the issues that we have with labor, it is an issue. So yes, they should, and we can put that back on their shoulders, but we can't do that and then do nothing about it. We have to get creative as an industry, both from a dealer standpoint. And one of the things that I've suggested to dealers that they don't do, but I hope some of them pick it up, is every dealer has a ton of customers that love them. That, as Travis said earlier, once they get camping, they're going to stay camping. They love it, and they have that doing. Why doesn't a dealer hire some of their customers as ambassadors to come into the dealership on Saturday morning or on Thursday night with a wine and cheese from 5 to 6, have an owner come in and go through these same things, talk to them about waste management, talk to them about water usage, talk about electrical usage. There's a ton of people. If you went out there right now, Travis, on Air Campground, you'd find hundreds of people say, "Hey, I'll teach that class. I can teach that class. Walter Swenson could teach that class."
Yeah.
You're busy.
Yeah, right, definitely.
Right.
So
now,
we can complain about them not doing it, but let's be creative and do something about it.
I just want to explain one thing here. I left here a second ago. I want to thank our new co-host, Travis, for sitting in for me during those 90 seconds that I was over at the playground. So while we're standing here,
did your grandkids want money?
Well, no, yeah, they want. Yeah, they said, "What's the talent fee?" So we're overlooking the pool area where there's a kids water park type thing, and they just turned it off. So now we hear some of the noise from the playground. So I'm saying to myself, "Who are these damn kids that are making so much noise?" I look over. It's my grandson. Okay. So I went over there to say, "Hey, do you want to come on?" And Bob, this is what you have said over and over and over again, and it just came true. Kids meet kids at RV parks, and even though my wife was nearby, they make new friends. And I have, as long as they're in this park, I don't have the same fear that if we were parked at living in a condo or something on the ocean, and they wanted to leave that area, right, or even at the beach, leave that area. And right,
was it George or was it Emerson?
It was Emerson and Nolan and Geneva.
Okay, so because I know George would have jumped at the chance to get in front of the microphone and the camera again.
Absolutely,
right,
yeah. George is home.
Right,
George is home. George, I'm surprised you called in at 6:59 just before we went on the air. I had to shut the phone off. But what I'm telling you is the law that you can't, the thing that you can't put, Travis, you can't put it in this booklet, is the peace of mind that parents have for their kids on a playground, on a campground, because of the demographics or whatever you want to call it. But you don't hear of crazy issues taking place.
It's not the inner city. It's not an environment that people don't feel comfortable even going to. It's society today, whether we like it or not. That's the environment outside. So when we get into the campground, I always tell people it's like our society 30 or 40 years ago when you left your door open, you knew all your neighbors. They knew you. If you were away, they looked out for you. That's what happens in a campground every day. When you pull in, you know the person on the left and the person on the right within 10 minutes. And guess what? You don't care if they drive the garbage truck or if they're president of the local university. They just like camping. That's the common bond.
Yeah. And usually the president of the university is the one who doesn't know how to hook up
right.
the sewer hose and the power hose. But that's so true that you say that. And now you have Kim Foley McKinnon's name under you. I was starting to tell that story before I went down the hall.
Travis, are you aware of the Girl Camper community? Kim is
an organization called Girl Camper.
Okay.
Yeah. And Kim's the state director in Massachusetts.
They promote. Yeah. They promote girl camping. So if you're a woman whose husband doesn't want to camp, that's right, the founder of the whole thing. Her husband, she loved camping, but her husband, he gives her all the blessings in the world to go out. And she bought herself a little small teardrop thing, and now she decorates them and has. But they have Kim, tell me the number of people a girl camper has. I think it's like 40 or 50,000.
Oh, that's cool.
People.
Well, no, on their
Are you seeing
on their Facebook
here
page, they've got
by themselves more and more?
No, you're frozen up a little bit. What we should do is Kim will get back in touch with Janine Pettit, who's the founder of Girl Camper, and we'll find out if there's a Girl Camper director for South Carolina. If there is, then we would recommend you get in touch with them. They do a thing called the
Girl Camper event here.
Yeah.
So
that's a great idea.
They bring the women in, and you get to work with a local dealer to bring a couple of small trailers in, and they teach them how to do all the stuff, how to hitch it up. They show them how easy it is to back it up, and you pay a little fee for that, but it's a great draw for your shoulder season. That people before they go out every year in the spring,
do it in July.
Right. No, it's a fantastic idea.
Right,
coming soon to South Carolina.
It says I would pay for it. There's another one that says she would pay for it.
250,000.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and
they drink wine.
They have a magazine.
Okay, we sell wine.
They sell wine.
We can handle it.
Yeah, they sell wine. They drink a lot of wine. And that's WINE, WHIE.
How'd you like to have 250,000 prospects, Travis? There's
that's awesome.
Facebook page.
That's awesome.
And they don't have South Carolina. So here's another good idea. If you've got a woman on your staff who RVs and has good potential management or leadership ability, you have her join Girl Camper, get engaged with them, and you have her become the state director. And then every time she does a rally, she does it at Myrtle Beach Travel Park.
Yeah, it's a great idea.
What else we got?
Look at Hawes.
She did apologize afterwards for being late. That's good. Cindy says we'd pay for the refresher. Jerry, again, he knows how many people
works at a service center, service center, and is an RV owner, and is also an RV inspector.
Okay, Don is mentioning here, and this is one of their favorite girl campers, but Brenda Puckett teaches an RV business class here at the National RV Training Academy. She also teams up with another girl camper, Dana Hext, to do YouTube videos for girl campers. There's a lot of opportunity there. We've had them up in New England at some of our dealers. Okay, what other? Oh, before I know we did the ads, but we always forget this every week. If you really like the program, do us a favor and like us on Facebook and share it with your friends.
Yeah,
we do.
Yeah, folks, we want the vast majority of the people who watch the show don't watch it live like you guys, and we always want to thank our live audience because they're the ones who shares and comments make it palatable. Yep. There's a new word. I don't know where that came from.
Let me do this.
They make other people want to do it. If there's a lot of comments about the show, and look at folks, I'm telling you, Myrtle Beach is cool. It's worth the drive. And we're coming back again. I haven't even told Travis this yet. We're coming back again in late June when we do our Maine to Miami. And I figured out that based upon the way my other grandkids have liked this place, we've got one or two more coming down on that long trip. And, Bob, we're going to try to stay off I-95 as much as possible and hug the coast.
Yeah. Well, speaking about Miami, I am taking my lovely wife to Miami tomorrow night for a wonderful 54-year anniversary dinner. So,
wow.
54 years. And we are going to celebrate in Miami tomorrow night.
Congratulations.
At Chick-fil-A. It's the first Chick-fil-A in Miami.
Let me do this. I want to call up. I thought I didn't have it, but I do have it. Let me call up the map of the property, and then Travis, walk us through some of the things. And I've got it in two sections. I got the top part from your website and then the bottom part. So let me put the top up and explain what you have in the park.
Okay, all of the blue, Bob, the blue on the lower right, those are all our vacation villas. They're 2-bedroom, 1.5 bath units. The yellow would all be our transit sites for campers and rigs coming in. And then the mustard yellow, those are going to be some of our annuals on the left side.
No, I'm curious. I've got a park model.
He's colorblind.
Yeah, no. I have a seasonal up at a park model resort up in Maine, and I think we're paying $5,000 a year for May 1st to October 31st. What does the seasonal site in South Carolina go for? And you have a lot more amenities. We're in just a park model resort with no amenities.
Just park models.
Just park models.
Or a seasonal site. Seasonal site.
Say the question again, Bob?
What is the rate for a seasonal site? The range that you know.
So for the annual, Bob, for the annuals at this park,
I'm sorry. That's right. You're a 12-month. You know, see, we think in 6 months.
So our annuals are going to range about 6,200 to about 7,300 for the year, depending on where they are.
And that's a whole year. Yeah.
Yes.
So we do that for 6 months. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, on the top right corner of the lake, what's that complex there?
That is going to be, that's kind of where we're sitting at the pool, lazy river. It's kind of the hub, as I call it. Our arcade and grill are there. Our store and laundromat. Really the hub, the epicenter of the park is there.
Okay, all right.
The amenities are all in that area.
You can fish in the lake, but do not feed the alligators.
Yes, please don't.
So, and of course, at the top is the Atlantic Ocean. So how much footage do you have on the Atlantic Ocean?
We're going to have just about a half a mile, roughly.
Wow. All right, so let's go to the bottom of the map. Whoops. There it is. So what do we have here?
So you're going to have our office is in that lower right-hand corner. And again, the kind of the mustard yellow would be our annuals. And then the purple would be, we've got a mobile home section for a little bit more long-term units.
That's amazing.
Yeah. No, see, Walter says that's cheap money compared to some locations.
And those are some of the ocean. Those are the ocean villas. Now these are the ones that you rent.
Yes, so those are our vacation villas.
Okay. Amazing.
Those are weeklies, monthlies.
Weeklies in the summer, and we do a 3-night minimum in the off season.
Yeah. Okay. Now Sue Buena says, "Can I get there from Myrtle Beach Airport if I fly in?" You absolutely can. It's 15 miles or so?
15 miles or so.
Yeah. Yeah. And
so they just grab an Uber or a cab or what? Taxi?
They could, and there's rental car facilities there as well.
Yep. Now, Sue, tell us where you're coming from, Sue. I haven't seen your name before.
No.
And by rentals, I don't know whether you meant car rentals or whether you meant there's trailer rentals as well. There's those Salem units. Where are they? They're right out there somewhere. Those are at least 28, 30 feet.
They're all about 34 feet.
Yeah, there they are over there. And every site has a picnic table and a covered picnic table because the sun out there during the summer,
it can be
brutal. So
Manny says cheaper than Maine. But Manny, you got to remember, in Maine we pay $5,000 for 6 months, which would equate to $10,000 for 12 months, and you can go to Myrtle Beach for a whole year if you live in that area with all those amenities. I know, and I love the resort that we're in. We do not have. It's a 55 and over. There's no kids. You can have grandkids come in and visit. We have a pool. We have a clubhouse. That's it. That's all we have. But that's fine because that's a relaxation place. But with all the activity,
Walter made that comment, and somebody else said too cheap. Travis just wrote down raise rates. Raise rates.
Walter's right, and Walter's a very smart businessman, Travis. You listen to him,
yeah. So Sue, rent a trailer, come down for a week or so. You can rent a trailer in New England and drive it down, or drive down on your own. It's really a 2-day drive, no matter what people say. And come down for a week. I'm telling you, Myrtle Beach it's not like Cape Cod. It's commercial, but depending upon I see more. Travis, tell me if I'm correct in this. I see more 3-generation groups here than I've ever seen in anywhere else. You know, where you got the grandparents, their kids that are in their 30s, and the little kids, like in the restaurant. We just had Hamburger Joe's or Joe's Hamburgers.
Yeah. Did you see Manny's comment? Manny's...
Yeah. Can you, Manny, tell Jess I said hello? I know the GM there at Wild Acres.
That's what's her name?
That used to be a Morgan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is it Jessica?
You know her?
Jessica Doan. I've known her for years.
Oh, we know her.
Yeah, please tell her I said hello.
We've done videos.
It was
NASCAR
a Morgan Park.
Right. NASCAR, right?
Right. It was. That's right. You would have known her from your Morgan days.
Yeah, I've known Jessica for quite a few years. Yeah.
Yeah, we've had her on the show.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Jessica, yes.
Small
that's so
world.
funny.
Yeah, please tell her I said hello.
Yeah. Fly down in my plane, get to your place, and have a trailer to stay in.
You're fly down in her plane.
Her plane.
Yeah, you know what? The Horry County, actually, the county airport's only about 4 miles from here.
Right, the North Myrtle Beach Airport.
Yeah.
And
that's where you put your plane, right, John?
What kind of plane you got, Sue?
747.
172. Watch, you'll say I have a Gulfstream. A Gulfstream. Can you put jet? I don't know if you can put jets in there. But Jessica, come on, Sue. Tell us kind of plane.
All right, everybody knows Jessica. See that, Travis? You didn't know John 3 days ago, and now you know everybody, and you got common friends.
Yeah. Auto gyro cav. What the hell is that? Auto gyro cavalon. Is that the kind that
that's a
propeller in the back?
That's that little seat with the propeller in the ultralight, right? Is it an ultralight?
An ultralight, yeah.
Ultralight, yeah.
Oh wow. Auto gyro cavalon. Well, anyway.
Well, she's not flying down. She's not flying down from.
If you got one of those little ones. Oh, there's Janine Pettit. Yeah. She's the girl camper lady.
Okay, cool.
Somebody, I'll bet you, whatchamacallit called her.
Right,
Janine.
We were just talking about you. You got to get a state director down there in South Carolina. John's live and in person from the Myrtle Beach Travel Park, and so we can get you an employee down there, get you set up with a girl camper, do a girl camper college, drop off some of your magazines. Now, I want you to be honest, Janine. Are you only on because who was it that called?
Kate.
Was it Kate? Because you got a phone call saying,
anybody else.
Hey, Zagami and DePietro are talking about you, so you better dial in. Or have you been on since 7 o'clock like a good, loyal fan and just kind of sitting off in the background? So we'll have to see.
The only show that yells at people for being on late. They usually say, I'm sorry. Hey, was it Sue? If you got a plane that doesn't need a lot of runway, depending upon the wind and the tide, you could land right on the beach.
Yeah, if it's low tide, we got room.
You can land on the beach right here, and we'll just tow you in and keep you down for a week.
I'm sure the local sheriff would really appreciate that, Travis.
Bob,
all right.
Bob,
what I say? Kim was on.
I think I sent the picture.
All right.
Did I send a picture to you of the proximity to the? Maybe it was video. The proximity to the last campsite to the ocean, because it's only 50 yards.
Yeah, it's close.
I don't know if I sent that to you.
Let me I'll try something. Now, when is the 50th anniversary, Travis? Because we got that
2 years ago.
It was 2 years ago.
That was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
All right. Let me. I'm going to try to run a video here. Hang on. Sometimes I screw these. Believe it or not, sometimes I screw them up.
Tony's in Tony, are you in California today? Tony's in California, I think. Isn't that a helicopter? I don't know.
Okay, Myrtle Beach Travel Park.
We are looking for a location for a camporee in the Mid-Atlantic in the fall of 23. There you go. I'll give you her. I've been missing the entrance.
Okay. You can comment while it's going along if you'd like, Travis.
There's a flagpole there now, Bob, with the American flag.
our sites are big. We can accommodate that in South Korea. 95% of the sites are full cruise. There, that's where we're sitting, Bob. Right where that pool is.
Lazy River's down the other end, right? Or
That's right there.
Yeah,
It's right there in the middle.
that's it?
Yeah.
And you got those little huts over your picnic tables, I'm sure because of the sun.
yeah, oh yeah.
That's amazing.
Oh, yeah.
It is right now.
Yep.
We could put 10 of our campgrounds in New England in that space.
That's a good shot. It's right where we were.
That is amazing.
52 years.
We get you back
Oh,
up
there's
there.
Alan Warren. Our friend Alan Warren.
That was fantastic. And guess what, guys? We are
at
right up
7:59.
to about 8 o'clock. Let me see if there isn't any. Are there any comments that I missed, John? That we
No,
should
Tony. I think Tony is from California, and Sue is going to fly down in her
Oh,
not quite a helicopter. Flies more like a plane. Needs a
Tony,
runway. Okay.
Tony, wait a minute. It's Tony Barthel. That's the owner, and him and Peggy, Stressless Camping website. He does a tremendous blog. He does RV reviews on some other websites, and great to have you, Tony. I know he's going back on the road pretty soon. Sue says spectacular.
So, was this the first time you saw our show?
No, she's talking about the campground, not you and me, John.
If anything, it would have been me.
So Kim's got, you got a wow out of Kim. There you go. Janine Pettit, sign me up. All right, we're gonna get you engaged here, Janine. Not quite a helicopter, flies more like a plane, needs a runway. Okay, so it's a step, at least a step above an ultralight, but not quite a helicopter.
Well, use a runway or a half-mile beach.
Oh, there goes Kim. Look at having a side. Tony jumps on, and everybody wants to have a side conversation with Tony. That's all right, Tony. We'll let you go. Yeah, you're in California. I know where you are. And Walter, oh, there he goes. See, Walter's an engineer. He does all the research. When everybody posts something, he
Another great show, guys. Okay.
As to what they're doing.
We love Stressless Camping.
We are looking for a location for our camporee in the Mid-Atlantic in the fall of 2023. We'll check this out. Well, last time I checked the map, Janine, South Carolina is not in the Mid-Atlantic.
It's close, on the fringe.
It abuts the Mid-Atlantic.
Right.
But I would pass up on the Mid-Atlantic and have a jamboree at, Myrtle Beach Travel Park.
Sagami, what you should do when you're heading back to New England, stop here on the way. Well, you've been here.
Well, I've been there, but I just got the car. So,
yeah.
Don't you know we have our guide meeting every Wednesday at 7? I'd love to join you every week. Well, see, Janine, that's really easy. All you do is change the day of your guide meeting, because it would not be appropriate for you to ask us to change our show.
Or have your guide meeting. Yeah, because we've been doing the show longer than she's been doing the guide meeting.
And I would suggest that you do, and if you want to keep it on Wednesday, you do it at 6 o'clock. At 7 o'clock, bring out the wine and cheese, and all your girl camper guides can watch RVing in New England. How's that?
And we'll talk about them.
We'll talk about that. All right.
Hey, we're over.
We're over.
And I was sitting on this same exact spot at 8:02 a.m. today.
Yeah,
while the sun was coming up, and Coach was here, and Bob, I'm telling you, the nicest people today that let me in. They saw that I was in distress. They opened the gates for me and gave me a towel because the The picnic tables had been sprayed down, and they couldn't have been nicer. It just made me feel really cool.
Nice people. All right, don't forget, folks, if you like the show, share
it. Share
Travis, any final closing comments to our fans and to your new fans?
Well, I appreciate y'all letting me be on here. It's been a blast, and I like everyone's comments. And if you're in our area, come see us. We'd love to have you.
All right, John, you heading back later this week or when?
Tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow. Oh, you're leaving tomorrow morning. Okay.
Tomorrow morning.
All right.
Yep.
All right, everybody. I'm going to do the closing video, and we will see you down the road. Thank you very much for joining us tonight, everyone. And don't forget, tell your friends about the Myrtle Beach Travel Park. Oh, time out.
Before you do that closing video, it's important to say that this show has been brought to you by Seacoast RV, Route 1, Saco, Maine, where you can get crop. They got to make that word name easier to pronounce.
Yeah.
Winnebago and elevation.
They're very good. They're very good units.
Yeah, they are
Fantastic.
Yeah, I need to sell them. They're very good units.
Oh, okay.
That's what I have up in Maine. Yep.
Yeah, they're quality.
Special thanks to our new people that watched us for the first time. And check out Myrtle Beach Travel Park. You will enjoy it and be glad that you did.
All right. Thanks, everybody. See you down the road.
This edition of RVing in New England was a presentation of the New England RV Dealers Association. Thanks for watching, and be sure to like us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram.